Well, we will enjoy the family battles throughout the field. It's a fantastic entry of 26 bikes on circuit, and it stretches far beyond our timing screen, which is great to see how strong the entry is at this meeting, but a bit difficult for us when we're trying to call it because we can't see quite where every single person is. So we'll try and follow it as best we can. We are about to get underway for the first Pitbike 140 and Moto team race of the weekend, 28 versus 55, 128 even. And in fact, Ben Bailey gets a great start from second place ahead of Ryan Tyres as they make their way through turn 1 and 2 for the first time out of 12. The Pitbike 140 is duly providing some fantastic action. A few people going a little deeper than they would have imagined into the S's for the first time, which can be a bit heart in mouth when you're trying to go side by side with two different people.
No Harvey Claridge to clear off from this time, so we should have quite a tight battle for the lead. Ben Bailey leads Ryan Tyres. In third place is Simon Gates now, because Jamie King was there originally and then he got pushed back as they all flick through. We'll take you with them across the line. It's side by side for the lead, and that is Ben Bailey who holds on to it. Ryan Tyres with the fastest lap, Simon Gates, Richard Holmes-Williams. Then it's Jamie King, Ben Pascoe, Ian Jackson. Sam Clowes has made his way up to 8th, John Ansell and Simon Clowes down to 10th.
And side by side for Tyres and Bailey. Tyres up the inside, couldn't quite get it stopped, unfortunately. So it goes quite deep, uses a lot of the exits and the curbing on the rider's left-hand side at turn number 4, using every inch of road. These Pitbike 140s, you can really bully them around and they just seem to follow whatever you want them to do, making their way up towards through the final corner, side by side. Tyres again versus Bailey. Bailey managing to hold on, just knows the lines, he just knows where to put the bike in these opening laps of the race. But Bailey versus Tyres, I mean, there's probably some kind of jokes put in there somewhere, but so far it's been nothing but fantastic racing. Once again, tries to look at the left-hand side. Moving these bikes around they don't really seem to struggle, and with the amount of torque that these bikes have got, they can just really do anything with them.
Massive look up the inside at turn 5 for Ryan Tyres, tries to do it again, sets himself up for turn 6. Now he'll blast down. Will he try and get the inside at top bend? No, he won't. So as they come through, Ben Bailey with the pink crush helmet still leads. Is it pink, is it red? It doesn't really matter, it's about the same. As they come through turn 1, Ryan Tyres, Ben Bailey and Ryan Tyres, those two have really pulled clear now. Jamie King in 5th place, he's got a battle on his hands with Ben Pascoe and Ian Jackson. The top Moto team bike is Simon Clowes ahead of Darren Anderson, so those two have always been on the podium in every race so far this year.
And side by side once again for the lead, Bailey and Tyres. Bailey looking around one way then the other. He's really defending fantastically, but the bike running quite deep through turn number 5. The left-hander getting a little bit of understeer, although that can quite easily be deliberate. Ryan Tyres does use every single line he can possibly can. Side by side once again over the line, the 28 or the 128, reading it how you will. Through turn number 2, seems to be able to maintaining the gap. And 10 laps left to go. It's only been a few laps and already we are enjoying some very mixed racing in this first race of the weekend. There's a great battle that seems to be going on at the moment for, that is 5th place with Jamie King, who is, as you say, last year's champion, knows how to ride one of these bikes. A new circuit for him, as indeed pretty much everyone else. So it's a very challenging prospect for him, but Jamie always seems to go well.
Ben Bailey is really using the corners to his advantage. He seems to be getting off them very, very well, and that's blocking any move that Ryan Tyres wants to make, although Ryan Tyres is basically riding pillion with him. He has a look up the inside, can't make it work that time at turn 2. They're going to come through traffic in a minute. I think that's Gary O'Keefe with the fluorescent green, fluorescent yellow helmet. The pink helmet of Ben Bailey, though, is still leading, but it's Ryan Tyres who's in 2nd place chasing him. Simon Gates and Richard Holmes-Williams are a distant 3rd and 4th. They're not really together on track either, so it really is all about these front two. As Ryan Tyres takes an inside line, a tight inside line, can't make it work. Ben Bailey swaps, they dive under each other, down into top bend. And it is really really close racing. Will Ben Bailey be able to hold on much longer? I just cannot see how he's going to resist this attack.
Well, 8 laps left to go, plenty of time for everything to change in this race, and he manages to stop it like a top. But Ryan Tyres using a point of momentum and a fantastic move through the second corner on the right-hand side, just got it stopped absolutely perfectly. Got a thumbs up down the back straight towards the fourth corner, but could get the traction, managed to get it stopped, managed to get it turned. Absolutely perfect move for Ryan Tyres to move into the lead of the race. Ben Bailey really giving it some attack though, and there's plenty of chances as they work their way through a couple of other riders within the race. And Ryan Tyres, great exit from the final corner, just did enough to make the lead.
Ben Bailey remonstrating there with number 5, that's Alistair Kinnaird. They tripped up over each other down at the final corner as they coming up to, I think that's Ben O'Keefe now, who's just getting away. Ben Bailey, who's just right on his line. Doesn't really matter though, because Ryan Tyres is starting to put a gap in between himself and Bailey now. The gap, it was half a second across the line, it's probably about 7/10 of a second as they come through at turn 5, that's the horseshoe, through Buttons at 6. There's traffic, and there's a little bit more to come, I think, with 7 to go.
And there's a yellow flag down at the final corner. The rider's up and just getting the bike restarted, so that will take that corner out of action as an overtaking opportunity for a lap or two. But Ryan Tyres, who's got the fastest lap of a 40.376, almost 2 tenths quicker than Ben Bailey, who's not exactly slow. The rest of the race still to go. 6 laps left to go, so about halfway through the race so far, but it's Tyres versus Bailey, Gates, Holmes Williams, Jamie King, Bain Pascoe, John Ansell, Sam Clowes, Darren Anderson, and then Simon Clowes. So 2 Clowes in the top 10, and they're both going to be enjoying their race.
They really will be. They're both on the pace in Glandau as well, so I think they're there for the whole season. As ruthlessly on the inside of one of the traffic there was Ben Bailey, just takes no prisoners. He knows he can win this race as long as he sticks with Ryan Tyres. The gap, he's 4 tenths quicker last time around. That's the difference it can make. If you get involved in traffic, lap times can vary, and it just goes to show. Ben Bailey at the start of the last lap looked out of it, and now he's right back in it. As they go through turn 4, the hairpin, it's starting to concertina together again.
Very, very close indeed as they make their way through the midpoint of the circuit, through the right-handed hairpin, through the left-handed hairpin. There's no real way that they can try and get that much closer to each other, but Ben Bailey is giving it absolutely everything he gets, and he's really closing in now. The gap 0.8 over the last lap, significantly less than this one. In fact, it's only 0.5, 40.2 or 0.24, which is a good 3 tenths quicker than Ryan Tyres on that last lap. So already it was close. They were fighting each other at the start of the race. They're going to be fighting each other at the end of the race. It's still looking fantastically close at the head of the field, but they are going to be closing into a few different battles for Moto team riders as well.
Ben Bailey may have just wanted to take a step back. Where is Ryan Tyres really good? What can he learn, if anything? Oh, Ryan Tyres gets held up on his line there. Traffic just on his line now. They're both going to go one different side of the traffic. Eyes on springs for the back marker as they come across the line. Ryan Tyres and Ben Bailey side by side. Bailey launches it through on the inside and gets it done. That's at turn 2, so the pink helmet is back in the lead. Through the S's they come. Bailey holds on. Ryan Tyres doesn't want him to. Now they're side by side. Up to turn 4. No move this time. Late lunge maybe from Ryan Tyres. Can't make it work. Ben Bailey leads with 3 and a bit laps to go. 2 and a bit laps to go now. But traffic is still a problem. Oh dear, oh dear. That is a really... Oh, they're cutting it tighter side by side. Ben Bailey still holds on as they went through Buttons. It was 3 abreast, and I thought Ben Bailey may have well lost that battle then. He didn't. He held on. And the next one is Fraser Kinnaird, and he's no mug either. So the harder they go through the field, the more difficult it's going to be to pass the traffic.
Ben Bailey, a absolutely brilliant move to make what is effectively his Mika Hakkinen moment from Spa a long time ago. They're very, very close up towards turn number 4 between Bailey and Tyres, almost on top of each other. Once again, they just seem to be interlinked wherever they go, and they're really using the different riders in this race as a different tactical advantage. Side by side through the right-hander, 2 right-handers left to go, and with just a lap and just a little bit more to go, it is going to be very close. Can it be Bailey? Can it be Tyres? Bailey seems to like the line on the right-hand side a lot more than Tyres, He's got to defend for his life on this final lap through turn number 2, the double apex right-hander, which leads into the S's. They're side-by-side. Tyres is on the right-hand side. They're going to go straight on for Ben Bailey, who had nowhere else to go. Unfortunately, they were very close side-by-side, and unfortunately, Ben Bailey drops back to second.
It's not done yet, though, because Ryan Tyres, all that means he's the first to the traffic, and that could be a problem, really. I don't think it will be with 2 to go. Though Ben Bailey looks out of it. Ryan Tyres, is he on for a win here?
I think he is, as he makes his way through the final corner for the final time, just passing a few people on the left. The checker flag is prepared, and Ryan Tyres, through a mire of bikes, wins this race in a dramatic style ahead of Ben Bailey, who had it until the very last lap. They went side by side. Ben Bailey was on the left-hand side, tried to go over the top. It probably would have ended in contact at the S's, where it tightened so much in the middle part, so made the sensible move. And he's still got 2 races tomorrow to enjoy, to try and take 2 extra victories to add to the tally. So it's not like it was a last that it was going to be the only time he's going to get to do it. It's 3 riders over the line now all of a sudden, between, I believe that was Sam, Darren and Simon, or Sam Klaus, Darren Anderson and Simon Klaus.
And Darren Anderson just gets it on the line, so that's how close all that was. 96, and Will Harris comes across the line as well. That's the 12th. Brandon Perrell is in 13th. And then the rest of the field just streamed through. We're still waiting on Ryan Gaines.